Okay. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure that you guys remember me from last time that I came here. That I had a presentation about my trip to Bulgaria. I am back. It's been the last 10 weeks. I'm back, and I'm so grateful that I'm back in one piece. um, I just wanted to give a short presentation about how my trip went and how I want. I also want to say I want to say thank you to all of you who supported me, because without you I wouldn't be there in Bulgaria. And I also want to let you guys know that you are part of my trip. Um, I want to share a little bit about. Oh, those are so small. Okay. I'm just gonna stand here. I want to share about a little bit of my trip in Bulgaria. Um, these are my summer in Europe. First, I had to go to France for training, ministry training. Um, it was a summer full of growth, God's faithful in God's faithful faithfulness, faithfulness. Sorry, a little nervous. Um, but yeah, the first week I went to France. We focused on training. We focused on worship, prayer, like a training about culture shock when we arrived to Bulgaria. We trained about team conflict and cross culture ministry, and also what a missionary life is like. And we also did a lot of journaling and quiet time about the trip in France. Um, One of the hardest part in that training was we had to do a mountain hike. We had to walk a lot of switchback for 2 hours, and it was one of the hardest part because we went to the province of France to do this mountain hike. It's uh it's they make us do this hike to teach us a lesson about how hard it's going to be this summer, um, and how we are going to be what missionary life is like. Um, it was a very hard hike because you will walk switch a lot of switchbacks to the point we want to give up, and that's basically what they want us to learn about this summer. So we had to do that, and the later on we had to go fly to Bulgaria for missionary mission trip. Um, when I arriving to Bulgaria, I met the Benev family. This is them. We had dinner with them, and we went to our first church, um, which is we also met with the young adult in the church, which was a very powerful day because we were able to share our testimony with the young adult group where they were having a hard time connecting with each other. And because we were able to share our team, we're able to share our testimony and what we've been through, that helped the young adult group open them open up a little, and they become closer to each other. And by the grace of God, they've been hanging out together now. They don't need us anymore to hang out. They normally go on walks, go for dinner, and they become closer to each other. And I felt like that was a miracle because our testimony can bring us places and make people's life change. Um, Next, it's the English camp. Um, what I learned in that camp, I learned that teaching isn't only about giving someone information, it's about building relationships. Um, when I was with the kids are so smart to the point that I was lost myself. I was like, okay, what should I be teaching those kids because they speak so great English? They, if I'm not lying, I think they speak better English than me. They speak great English. I don't know what to teach them. But then I realized you have to. It's not about giving them information. It's about spending time with them, um, help them practice daily, or we had to do this for 1 week. Practice with them and do a lot of activity with them. Be Teach them other life lessons. It's not teaching them vocabularies or how to form a sentence in English, but little life lessons that they're gonna learn while they're growing up, then remembering that, staying with them, that will stay with them for a long time. So I learned that, and I am happy that the kids also were able to um, be close to us, and we were able to teach them a lot, and they learn a lot from us. Um, Next is the Roma community. Sorry, you guys are not able to see that well, but that community in Bulgaria, it's all over Europe, but Bulgaria specifically, the Roma community, people don't really like those people. They are people from other places, countries, where they're not treated well, and they were treated badly because of crime and other things such as poverty, people who are in gangs and all of these things. So they're not well treated. But we were had the opportunity to go to the Roma community, where we meet a lot of families and we spend time with them, praying, sharing the gospel with them as well. Well, I don't speak Bulgarian, but the missionary that you're looking, the lady with the blonde hair, her name is Kayla. She speaks Bulgarian, so she translates for us, and she let us speak when we need to say something, and things like that. But what I learned from that community is that I learned that I cannot understand the whole group of people from what I hear about them. I have to meet the people and see that them as people. So basically, those people they are they were treated really bad in Bulgaria, but when you meet them, they're amazing people for amazing community, actually, and you'll be surprised to find out that there are pastors, Christian, a lot of Christian in those communities as well. And the little kids, they're running around, shouting at each other. They're so pretty, and it's so pretty to see how great of a community they have. But it's just that they're not well treated in the country, in poverty. Um, Next is the nursing home. Um, the nursing home is one of the hardest part for me in Bulgaria when I was in Bulgaria, because it's where I'll go every Thursday and Saturday, part of Saturday, to meet with the elderly people and share the gospel with them, spend time with them, talk to them. Um, well, this is me sharing my testimony of the nursing home community uh, in Bulgaria, the public nursing home, because there are older people, elderly, who are disregarded. They don't really pay attention to them as much, and they're not treated well as well. Um, it was one of the most tiring, like emotionally tired community that I did in Bulgaria. It was very hard because it was my first time in a nursing home, and I never really pay much attention to nursing home at all until I went to Bulgaria and see the situation of the people. So it was very touching. So it was one of the hardest um, ministry that I did. Next is street evangelizing. Okay, none of the ministries are easy, but there are hard ones. This one also, it was hard. This one also make me realize that I have a gift, is that I love talking to people, and that's something that I realized, that I love sharing the gospel with people. I've never really shared the gospel by myself with somebody, where it's me telling them what I see and what I think, my experience with God. But that was my first time personally sharing the gospel without me being scary, like a scaredy cat. Um, so that was my first time sharing the gospel. Actually, this one photo right there, the big one, is our first second day in Bulgaria, we went to the shop to get food, and we found a couple girls advertising for coffee, and we start sharing the gospel with them. Um, but that was one of the photos that we took. The missionary took of us sharing the gospel. But yeah, street evangelizing was very hard because you would be paired with two people because you don't speak the language. You'll be paired with two people. The last day of street evangelizing for me was the hardest because the group leader paired off with four people. Just imagine you walking to one person who's sitting down and try and a group of four people trying coming up to you, share the gospel with you. How scary would that be? Well, that was me in a group of four people trying to share the gospel with one person. And it was one of the hardest thing for me to do because it was I was not feeling well, but I wanted to do everything. But that was hard because there's one lady who was trying to force the gospel, trying to force to make people to listen. And I just that teach me to realize the gospel is not about you trying to force it on people. It's about how God works in that person's life. Just you saying the gospel, the name of Jesus to one person already is you sharing the gospel. But that experience taught me that lesson. Um, church planting. Um, church planting. Um, church planting. We didn't really do a lot in that area, but almost every Sunday we would go to this one city, Dobrogov, it's called in Bulgarian. We go to that city and share and do a lot of activities with kids for church planting, and we'll also go there w- to watch this one pastor who's growing in learning about church and how to preach and how to teach the church about the gospel. So basically, we would go and be like everybody else, sit there and just listen to him talking, and so that the pastor can just share about what the church is, who God is to other people. Basically, it's not a lot of people, just very little people, not much people at all. It can be two, sometimes three, sometimes all four of us and two more people and a couple and two other couples. It's very small. Next is the orphanage camp. The orphanage camp was one of the hardest. It's always gonna be one of the hardest. But it was one of the hardest part of me in the summer. Personally, it was harder, um, because I grew up in an orphanage myself, and this was one of the first time I was going back to an orphanage for the first time, and it got me really bad. Um, I think because of that, I ended up getting sick and ended up in the hospital just because I was not, I don't know, I guess all of the emotions got into me really bad and it got me well. I had to experience what going to a Bulgarian hospital was like. I had to go to 7 of them. Yeah, and but it was great. I had to teach the kids English. I had to play with them. This one kid I am with over there on the if you see her head with the glasses, her name is Tanya. She was one of the. She's a kid in needed. She's in need. She can speak really well. She cannot really see well as well, and I was able to connect with her, which was amazing. She's a sweetheart. She took my phone and running with it, and then I caught her. She took photos. She's so cute. But a lot of the kids, I end up connect with them in a very deep level, which is amazing. Um, and I was able to connect with a lot of other kids as well, such as Siming. She's Chinese. She loved anime, so I was able to connect with her more than my other teammate in that sense, where they were having a hard time connecting with her because they don't really have much in common with her. But because of anime or manga that I read, I was able to have a connection with her and talk to her and see how smart she is. She is such a wonderful kid. Um, and I was able to teach the older kids English and also the younger kids English at the same time. Later on, the girl in green, it was her birthday on the last day of the orphanage. We threw a party for her, and we shared gift. We made her cake, and everything was fun. It was a blast in the orphanage to just um, just be there with the kids. It was very emotional, and it was very emotional in every way possible. Um, it it was a very amazing day, a week entirely. Um, what I don't know if you guys can read this, but what I have gathered from this camp, all of these the camp, is that something I noticed throughout the summer was that after our camps, like every single camp that we did, except for the one, except for one, which was a family camp, we didn't really do much, but we were able to. I feel like every time we finish with a camp, it rains, and especially the orphanage camp, we saw a rainbow. We saw one. Which one? I feel like we planted a seed in Bulgaria. I feel like us leaving means God is watering the plant, the seed that we planted. That's what I felt like it was. Um, yes, we won't be able to see those seed grow to a plant, but um, we did what we were supposed to do. That's what I feel like. Um, I am very emotional when I see this like that because I think it's actually that's my opinion. I don't know what my other teammate think, but that's what I think. That every time we finish um, a, a camp, it rains and it's good. That means God is happy we did what we're supposed to do, and I'm super happy that we're able to accomplish that. And I feel blessed that I was able to be there in Bulgaria and be part of this amazing um, planting season. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me in Bulgaria in my mission trip. I don't know how else I can say, but I'm super duper. I'm gonna be a teen. Super duper grateful that you guys supported me in this journey, and I just want you guys to know that you guys were part of my ministry in Bulgaria, and I just want to say thank you so much for making that happen. I love you guys so much.